relationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on amazon.com. You know, if your woman doesn't submit to you, she ain't your woman. Now, I know this is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. But if your woman is not submissive to you, I don't give a damn what nationality she is. I don't care if you live together. I don't give a damn if you're black, you're white. I don't give a damn if y'all the same nationality. I don't give a damn where you live at in the world. If your woman is not submissive to you, she ain't your woman. She belongs to the streets. She belongs to her job. She belongs to the pastor at that church she attends on every Sunday. She belongs to her friends that influence her to do dumb shit. She belongs to somebody else, but she doesn't belong to you. And I know this is hard, a harsh truth. And it's something that I had to face about 15 years ago. And it's one of the biggest problems that I had, because I used to think that you had to pander and negotiate and talk women into shit, but all that's bullshit. It really is. And a lot of women will try to run game on guys because a lot of women want guys to protect them in some type of way. If that door fly open, or if some type of danger is coming towards her, she looks, first thing she does is look at the guy that's sitting next to her. So she wants protection, but at the same time, she doesn't want to take instructions from a man. She can't stand a guy telling her what to do. You know, so you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? Shit, it's some countries like Saudi Arabia and Dubai where women have to submit by law because those guys are in power. They run shit over there. So, you know, but living here in America, women, they pretty much do submit as they will. They just do what they feel like it. And that's the problem of living in the United States of America. Because women, if a woman does submit to you here, you don't know how long it's going to last. It could be 5 years, 10 years. But it works out well for us, fellas, because if she gets out of pocket or does something that's unforgettable, you can get you another bitch. So it's all good. And by that time, in most cases, by the time she stops submitting to you, she's already up in age anyway. She's probably old. Yo. Yes, sir. It's official. Like a referee with a whistle. Like, share the video, and all that good stuff. You know. And I'm going to talk about what I wanted to talk about. I talk about my experiences traveling overseas and some things I've been hearing over the past couple months. You know. And, you know, when I speak from my experience. This is not a theory. This is not what I heard. It's my experience and what I've seen. And it's taken me a long time to figure out what works for most people and what works for me. This didn't happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. You know? And I think today, a lot of guys have unrealistic expectations in regards to women. I think if I look at both sides of the equation, women are delusional and guys are just unrealistic when it comes to certain expectations that they want out of a woman. You have to realize that the women you see today, they're not like grandma. That type of woman is gone. Grandma's gone. That type of woman doesn't really exist in the 20s and 30s and 40s today. That type of woman is like a unicorn. Yeah, every blue moon you might meet someone that resembles your parents, grandparents' values. But that's rare. That's not even the norm today. Even if you go overseas, a lot of these women overseas ain't like your grandmother. They might have some characteristics of your grandmother or even your mom, but they're not like a carbon copy pro of your grandmother or even your mom. No, they're not built. Women today are not built like Big Mama. Oh, it's really unrealistic to even compare the two. You know, I mean, you got women today they don't even know what they're gonna wear when they wake up in the morning. They gotta change clothes 3-4 times before they go to work. And you got women that before they go to the gas station, they gotta be dolled up with 4 layers of makeup on. That's what you got today. You got women today have to run scams and got to be strategic to get a guy. They got to manipulate the guy to get the time for a guy to give her the time of the day. That's what you got out here today. That's the majority. That's probably good 60%. Women can't be genuine about who she is. She have to run some type of scheme or manipulate the guy or some type of crazy shit like that. It's rare that you meet a woman and you be like, damn, she's cool as hell. It's rare that you meet a woman and you be like, after it don't even take a couple weeks. It can be a week or two or a month. And you be like, I'll do it. I'll help you out just on GP. See, I saw my mom like that. When I was growing up, my mom had what some people call the X factor, where people just like being around her for whatever reason. And what happens is people like themselves better around her. That's what that really is all about. See, a lot of this shit, this dating relationship is really psychological. The majority of it. You can have all the tactics and You can dress good, you can talk good, but if you're a scumbag, none of that shit is gonna work. None of that stuff none of that superficial shit is gonna work. It's not gonna last. Cause see, a lot of people have they're broken spirits. They're broken. Yeah, like you have a lot of good looking women out here, but a lot of them are broken. So until they do the inner work, their relationships is never gonna last. It's always gonna crash and burn. And it's the same shit for guys. It's the same shit for guys too. And when I went overseas, what I learned is that it's different, but it's the same shit going on. What I mean is it's just a different environment. The people are in a different, they think different. But at the end of the day, everybody's looking for the same shit. A man is looking for a woman and a woman is looking for a man. But how they go about doing that is another thing. But at the end of the day, you have to have good leadership skills and you have to have good social skills. So, see, the problem with a lot of guys and even women, a lot of guys are bad leaders in North America and have poor social skills. So if you have bad leadership skills and you have poor social skills, you're gonna have a hard life. You're gonna have a hard life if you're a guy. Now, women can kind of get away with having poor social skills to a certain extent. Because, see, a woman can still get a decent man, if she has poor social skills. But she's going to be limited. She ain't going to really have no friends because no one really wants to be around a woman that has poor social skills because there's no benefit. There's no benefit being around. Well, let's just call a spade a spade. If you're a woman, there's not a lot of benefit hanging around a bunch of women. Anyway, it really ain't. Especially if you throw on top of if you hang around a woman with poor social skills, it gets even worse. Because the other women are going to pick up on the fact that this broad ain't really fun to be around. She's really bored. So they ain't trying to hang around another boring woman. Most women ain't trying to do that. There has to be some type of benefit there for her. You know? So women can kind of get away with having poor social skills. But guys, we suffer when we have poor social skills. And we're bad. And we have bad leadership skills. We suffer. You're going to have a hard time. Because some of us can't afford to make a lot of mistakes. Because we ain't come from We ain't coming from a wealthy family. Our families ain't worth millions of dollars. And we can't afford to make a bunch of mistakes like a lot of people can. Because we don't really have nobody we can call to bail us out when we hit rock bottom. So this is a result of having poor social skills and bad leadership. You're going to struggle. I'm talking like your whole life. You're going to struggle if you have bad leadership skills and poor social skills. And this is much bigger than just women. This is just period. This is coming to your career, your job, your income potential, investments, whatever. Because what's going to happen is, and I saw this when I was overseas, you have a lot of guys, when they're around people, they can't pick up on certain shit. A lot of guys, you might have a handful of guys in the same room. Everybody's looking at the same thing. But certain guys can't see what I can see. And that's a big problem. Because if you can't see what's really going on in front of you, around you, there's a good chance you're going to get taken advantage of. And people will prey on you. There's a lot of people out there that's like that. A lot of people out here are like fucking cancer, parasites. A lot of people, man, their whole game, their whole philosophy in life is to rip people off. Men and women. You got people that have businesses. That's what they call it anyway. Their whole business model is to rip people off. They set the whole thing up to rip you off. And if you can't see it, if you don't pick up on the signs, they're going to take advantage of you. Look, you can't go buy a car or a house today. I'm going to say most people can't go buy a house or a car today without being ripped off in some type of way. And the same thing applies to guys trying to get with women. A lot of guys can't. First off, most guys don't know how to pick women anyway. They don't know how to do it. They don't. By the time the guy finds out that this woman ain't for him, hell, he done got kids and he's 5-10 years in. By the time he find out that she was a fraud, that he was being manipulated, and he might not find out 5-10 years. It might take him 20 years before he figure it out that she was living a double life the whole time. She always had a guy on the side since they've been married. Or check. Let me tell you what else happens to some of these married guys. Or some of these guys that's just been with the same woman for a long time, been living together for a long time. What happens is a lot of these women settle. They settle with a lot of these guys. And she decides that, okay, he's a good provider and everything, but I can't be having sex with him often. And if she do have sex with him, she has to be in another state of mind. She has to be drinking or getting high or sniffing a little coke, something like that. Popping some pills, whatever, right? And that's gonna be like, pump and dump, like some people like to say. Minute man. Pop and go. Now that might last for 10, 15 years. And at some point, that woman is going to say something like, hey, maybe we should open things up a bit. And the husband going to be like, what you mean, open things up? You ever thought about having another woman or somebody else join us in the bedroom so we can have some fun? No. Yeah. See, a lot of people, a lot of guys think that guys be wanting to do threesomes the majority of the time. No, a lot of time it's the women that bring it up. That's what I found to be true in most cases. And that's where the strip clubs and the swinging and these subgroups come into play. See, and a lot of these, if you go to the strip club or any of these private parties that they have in these major cities across America, it's mostly married couples in there. There ain't a lot of single people in there. That's usually what it is. You got swinging clubs in places like Atlanta, LA, New Jersey, Florida. Most of them places is the majority is couples. Women that are bored sexually, don't like sleeping with their husband because she settled. She wasn't really into she wasn't really into her husband in the first place. He don't make her panties wet. That's the truth. And there's millions of women that's like this. And that's where you and me come in at. If you want to, anyway. Because she might see a guy like me, she'd be like, oh, he's very attractive. I'd like to get to know him. Whether you're married or not, she doesn't care. Because she's already married. She just wants you whenever she wants you. Even if it's for one night. You know? because she ain't attracted to her husband. And he might not be attracted to her either. Because they've been together so long, and you never know. He might can't rise to the occasion no more, especially if he ain't attracted to her. So it's that type of dynamics that happen within these marriages and these relationships today, especially with older people, 40s, 50s, 60s. You have these wrinkle up old women that go into these underground clubs looking for younger people to lay up with all the time. You know, it happens all the time. Especially in vacation spots, tourist spots, Jamaica and all throughout the Caribbean and Virgin Islands. You probably heard about it. Florida, you know, well, women frequently vacation and have guys on speed dial that they can call so they can get their back knocked out. This been going on before we were born. This ain't nothing new. But it happens. And it ain't gonna stop. Now, some people will say there's like a myth that all these women got money, that travel overseas all the time. And they got guys on speed dial. There's like, oh, these rich women. Man, all these women ain't rich. Man, it don't cost that much to travel to Jamaica. You don't got to be rich to go to these islands, man. It don't cost that much. The flight, what, $400 or less. The hotel, in most cases, is less than the average hotel in North America, in them islands. So you don't got to be, all these women are not rich. That's like a myth. That's something that I hear people talk about a lot, where the rich white woman is going to St. Thomas and hang out with the island dude, and you know he's somehow, you know, the woman is breaking him off, but it ain't like he came up. No, it ain't really that serious. Yeah, he might have made a couple dollars. That's gonna last him for the rest of the month. But it ain't like he rolling in the bank. You know, it ain't that type of party. You know. Unless you're on some gigolo type shit. But most of these guys ain't got it like that. You know, most of these guys ain't got it like that. Now, you got to keep in mind, I'm seeing this shit in the 20s and 30s while I'm traveling throughout Asia, Australia, around North America, Mexico. So I'm seeing the same shit happen in most of these places, except for the Middle East. I'm not saying it don't happen in the Middle East, but you don't see it as much. Because see, you got to realize that when you walk outside, and if me and you are standing up, observing people, I can see what you can't see, even though we're looking at the same group of people and we're in the same environment. I realized that I had an advantage over most guys. And I still do to this day. And I had a pimp. I interviewed a pimp like a year ago. Mickey Royals. Mickey Royals said something. Well, he's an ex-pimp. He don't pimp no more. Mickey Royals said, "We know our people." Mickey Royals said, "We know our people." Mickey Royals said, "Hey, he can step outside and anywhere in the world and he can tell who's a hoe, daytime or nighttime." That's what Mickey Royal said. Yeah, so, and I ain't no pimp, but the point I'm trying to make is some guys are clueless when it comes to this social game rules that are out here in this world that we live in. Some guys don't really know what's going on. Some guys act like hoes today. They just be doing shit and they figure it out later, if at all. If you're a man, or at least if you're trying to be a man, you can't act like a hoe. You can't be just winging it. Just be doing shit. And then get mad later when shit don't work out. You know what I'm saying? That's not a good strategy to have. You're trying to be like Nike, just do it. No. Just do it once you get the strategy, yeah. Once you have a plan, yeah. But just don't do anything. No. That's not a good idea. And a lot of guys are like women in another way because they looking for the quick fix too, just like a lot of women are. And if that's the case, you're going to be waiting for a long time because if you got issues, you're going to have to go back and take care of whatever that is. You might have to go back home. You might have to go back to your childhood and deal with the shit that happened to you when you was growing up. And a lot of guys don't want to deal with that shit. And a lot of it takes time and it ain't easy. And it doesn't happen overnight. Might take you 5-10 years to get it right, to get your mind right. But the good news is once you get your mind right, everything changes. Everything takes off. There's no more relationship problems. At least nothing that you can't take care of anyway. There's always going to be challenges, but you won't have no major problems. Like I don't have no major relationship problems today. I don't have no problems. None. Everybody I'm around, they're around me because they want to be around me. Now they can leave at any given time, any given moment. But they're around me because they want to be around me. They like being around me. And at whatever point that changes, they can always leave. And hopefully they're much better off than they was before I met them. And in most cases, they will be. You know, that's usually how it go. You can ask any of my ex-girlfriends. They'll say, "Man, yeah, I learned a lot from him." You know, I learned a lot from him. They ain't gonna really say nothing bad. They can't really say it. They can't say anything bad because I gave them an experience that they never had before in all aspects of their lives. That's what they're gonna say. That's gonna be the bottom line. And 9 times out of 10, when they leave me, they're gonna downgrade. They're gonna have to downgrade when they leave a guy like me, because I live my life to the fullest. I go big. I do everything big to the best of my ability. So if a woman is around me, the shit that I do, this is like the average guy ain't really able to do that shit. The average guy don't really know the people that I know. Whether she respected or not, whether she might not even realize it. There's some women that's been around me, they didn't even realize the person I was sitting across from. They didn't realize who the guy was, what the guy was really all about until later, until afterwards. But I always tell them this shit ain't normal. I really ain't supposed to be doing this shit. To most people's standards, in North America anyway, the most people's standards, I ain't supposed to be doing this. None of this shit. This shit is unbelievable. Some people would say that. Some people would say, they'd be like, "What the hell?" You know. Yeah, some things I've accomplished, people were like, couldn't believe it. Or maybe they didn't want to believe it. Either or. So yeah, a couple of these women I used to talk to, they had to downgrade. The guy they got with, whether she got married to him or living with him, yeah, she didn't upgrade, and they know it, but they'll never say it. And P.S. And by the way, some of these women, they see me online, they see me on Facebook, they follow me on YouTube, they follow me on Instagram. Some of these women fell off. Some look bad or don't look the way they used to look. At least not when they was with me. They had to downgrade. See, they some of them thought they could do better. They made a mistake. Like a couple months ago, probably last year, I would say, I saw one of my ex-girlfriends at the grocery store. She saw me, it was like she saw a ghost when she saw me. The way she was looking at me. I still look the same as I still look the same when we was together. Do she look the same? Not really. But she was looking like she couldn't believe it was me. Yeah, I'm the same dude. I still look the same. And that was what? 12 years ago? Yeah, that was 12 years ago when she left. She walked out. I didn't like how she left. I guess she thought I was gonna call and take her back or beg her to come back. No, no. You left the way you left, and that's it. And I don't even know why she left, to be honest. But I heard what she said before she left, and based on that speech, that rhetoric, I was like, "Oh, I'm not ever calling you back again, bitch." You know, no. And I was like, "Bitch, you going?" When she left, I was like, "Uh-oh. Let the struggle begin." Bitch, you gonna struggle now. And she did struggle for years, from what I was told, when she left. Because you know why? Because look, when you're around me, things get better when people come around me. Because I can do something that most people can't do. I know how to get the bag. I know how to get you some money. If you stay around me long enough, if I get to know you, I know how to help you get the bag. And it doesn't matter what type of job or skills you have. I know how to help you get the bag. That's the difference between me and most people. But most women don't stay around long enough. That's the mistake they make. And I don't give a damn. Shit, I don't give a damn. They stay around or not. Really. I don't give a damn anybody stay around, man or woman. More for me. You know? That's just how it go most of the time. But gotta have good leadership skills out here. And you gotta have good social skills. If not, you're going to struggle for the rest of your life. You're gonna struggle. It's so many traps that's being set for you to fail out here. And whether you know it or not, you've been programmed to fail. Almost everything your parents taught you growing up has programmed you to fail, whether you like it or not. And this is not a knock against your parents. They just didn't know no better. Most of them, they didn't know no better. Yeah, they might have taught you to kiss ass and go network with people that ain't really worth a damn. You know. But they set you up for failure. You know, and there's a lot of confusion out here today, more than ever. And that's another problem. That you might get caught up in all that confusion, the matrix, like some people like to say. It's like a maze. And you won't be able to come out of that shit. You're going to be all over the place mentally. And you can't you'll have a hard time trying to find somebody to tell you the truth. Boys, a lot of lies out here. Damn. Is anybody telling the truth out here today? It's hard to find that, boy. I'm probably the only person that's willing to tell you the truth. It's a handful of people. It ain't a lot. Telling the truth can sometimes be dangerous today. This depends on what the truth is and what environment who's doing the talking. Boy, but there's the lies is that's the majority of the conversation today. It's full of lies. That the internet used to be like one of the last places to get the truth. Not no more. That's over. The internet is just like mainstream media now. You got people telling you all kind of lies. You don't even know who to believe no more. If you just coming online and you don't know no better. And some guys and gals can't tell who's lying and who's telling the truth. I can. I can tell who's lying and who's telling the truth. I can. I always had that ability. When I was in my 20s, I could figure out who was lying. All you got to do is listen closely. Listen to your instincts. If something feels a little off, not right, don't do it. That's in 99. I'm gonna say probably 100% chance. I'm usually right. I was about to say 99%, but no, I'm gonna say 100% chance. I'm usually right. Yeah, you can apply this to anything. You can apply this to maybe you think about getting a car or buying a certain type of house or certain type of property or asset, or thinking about getting a job, a new job, and you have to make a decision at a certain point in time. And if it doesn't feel right, something a little bit off, you having doubts, don't do it. Walk away. See, you have to be, as a man, you have to make tough decisions sometimes. You might even have to take a loss. It's okay to take a loss and move on versus having to suffer the consequences later on. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather, I give you an example. Like when it comes to buying an asset, like a house or any type of property or something like that, it's a process. It takes weeks, months for you to go through that process. But during that process, you can always decide to walk away. Shit don't work out. Something ain't right. You don't like how the shit is going. You find out that the house you was about to buy is full of mold and termites. And the shit they rigged, the plumbing is rigged, the electrical wires is rigged. You know what I'm saying? So you've seen all that shit. You be like, yo, I don't think I want to be responsible for a house or a property that's like this. They rigged every goddamn thing. Every time they install the new appliances ain't installed right. So you might decide like, yo, I'll just take my loss and move on. It's only a couple $100. Even if it's $1,000, I'll take my loss and move on. I don't want to buy this shit. I don't want to buy this asset. I don't want to buy this house. I don't want to buy this property. Whatever it is, you have to have the balls to make tough decisions and walk away. Just as a man, you can't get attached to material. You can't get attached to anything that can't love you back or don't have the capacity to love you back. You can't. See, that's how you get played. That's how you go to the car dealership, and they think you serious about buying a car. So you know what they're gonna tell you? Hey, why don't you take it home over the weekend and bring it back Monday? So they'll say, hey, you can leave your car here if you got one and test drive the new car out and bring it back on Monday. And we'll go from there. And tell me how you feel about it. See you Monday. Have a nice weekend. See, they do that because they know you're going to be hooked on that car. Because you get in that new car, everything is fresh. Smell good. Got that new scent. You look good in the car. At least that's what you think anyway. You know, you can't really afford the car, but you look good in that motherfucker. You're already struggling anyway with your bill, with your utility bills and rent. But you like, this shit is fly, yo. I'm fucking this motherfucker, this bad motherfucker. You know, see, you acting like a hoe. You acting like a woman now. You're getting attached to material. You're getting attached to a car. You're acting like a hoe. You're acting like a woman. You're like, this bad motherfucker, man. Shit, this shit look good. So you keep the car for the weekend. You go back Monday. They say, hey, how you like it? You take it back after work on Monday. You pull up. The salesman see you pulling up. Hey, buddy, how you like that car, man? You ready to make that? You ready to make a deal? Make that trade? You know, or you want to buy it straight up or what? Let's make it happen. And you look at him, you look at the salesman, you look at the car. Let's do it, man. So y'all go on to his office. He start typing all the damn. You sit down. You sit down. He get on his computer, start typing away, and then he walk back to the loan officer, the manager, and say, "Hey, man, we got one. That guy came back with the car. He likes it. Oh, good, man. Do your thing." So he asking you for your name, social security number. Well, he already, he probably ran your credit Friday, but he getting all your information and shit. You feeling good? You about to finance a car for what? $45,000. A car you really can't afford. You really shouldn't be getting, but you gonna get it anyway. You gonna get it anyway. He asks you, hey, how much you putting down? You be like, I'll put down $2,000. All right. Then he asks you, hey, how much can you pay a month? How much do you want to pay a month? Monthly payments. Um, I don't know. Well, no, come on. You gotta. I mean, then he gonna look at your income. He say, well, can you pay $800 a month? Yeah, I can pay that. Yeah, I can pay that. Yeah, I can handle that. Shit, your rent is 1,500. You already struggling anyway. Now you gonna have rent 1,500 and another car payment at 800. And you be, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I can pay that. Yeah. Shit. So he's typing his ass off. That salesman boy, that car salesman, getting all your information before you change your mind. You know, and it took him what, an hour to do all that paperwork. You sign, he give you the keys, you know, and you be on your goddamn way. And you gotta call somebody else to pick, you know, you probably had to call somebody. Hey, I got this I got a brand new car, blah blah. I traded the old car in, blah blah blah, this and that or whatever. And he ripped you off. You be like, how I got ripped off? Because he never really asked he never talked about your credit score. And he never asked you, he never said anything about the interest rate. He just asked you how much can you pay a month. He didn't tell you what the interest rate was, whether it was going to be 4%, 6%, 8%, 15%, whatever percentage it is. He never said anything about that. He just asked you how much can you pay a month and how much you going to pay down. That's it. So the salesman ripped you off. And you don't look at the contract until you get home and you see that the interest rate is 15%. And your score is 725, 730, 750. But he jacked your interest rate up at 15%. He ripped you off. But it's too late now. Yeah, you can take the car back within the 30 days time frame if you want. But there's a good chance you ain't going to get your money back. Your $2,000, you probably ain't going to get that back. You might. I've heard stories where some of these dealerships didn't want to get the money back. But 9 times out of 10, they know you ain't coming back. All they got to do is get past that 30-day window. You locked in. He took advantage of you. And he know you couldn't afford that car in the first place, but you wanted it. He took advantage of you. He gave you a 15% interest rate, and your credit score is good. It's higher than most people. You're 730. That's most people are not in the not 730. If you have a 730 credit score, you shouldn't be paying 15% interest rate. It took advantage of you. But you like, hey, I got the car. It's all good. I look good in the car. I like it. You sound like a woman. And see, this is what I'm talking about. If you have bad leadership skills, poor social skills, you're going to get taken advantage of a lot. And see, a lot of guys, when they get into their emotions, they shut down they stop for whatever reason. A lot of guys kind of stop thinking. It's like all their logic and reason go out the fucking window. They start acting like hoes. And see, that's the problem. And even women will take advantage of you. If you acting like them, that's the problem. And this happens everywhere. This ain't a North American thing. This is a worldwide thing when it comes to women. You have a lot of guys out here are looking for damn near virgin. You know, if you find one, let me know. I think I met one woman. Yeah, I think I met one virgin in my life. You know, but I haven't met one in a long time. I don't know. You know, and if they say, I said, well, how much is too many? Because they have this thing about body counts. So I said, how much is too many? Anything over 5. Shit, man. Good luck with that. Anything over 5, man. Look, if you meet a woman that's in the 30s, let's say she's 30. She done slept with more than 5 guys, bro. 9 times out of 10. Unless she's been with one guy for 5 years and the second guy for 5 years. Okay, that happens, but that's rare today. In North America, Now you might say, well, go overseas. Well, yeah, you can go overseas. If you can afford to do it, if you can afford to travel, you can do it. But see, when you go overseas, you're at a disadvantage when you go overseas because there's a good chance you don't know the language. You don't know the culture and how those people live over there. And they have different social game rules. And you don't know them because you don't live there. Yeah, you might have visited there a couple of times, but you don't really know what the hell's going on. You only know as much as she tells you or what you see. And don't be a fool and think that somehow this woman that you just met a couple weeks ago or yesterday or a couple months ago, don't be a fool and think that she's going to tell you everything about her country, and what's going on in her town or her city. If you believe that, you're naive and you're a goddamn fool. If you think some woman is going to tell you everything within the first month or two, tell you all about her and her town, her city, and what's going on in the nightlife, hell no. That ain't happening. It takes months, years for that to happen. I mean, that woman have to be in too deep, soul on you to get that type of information. And especially if you don't even speak the language. Worth a damn. If at all. So you're at a disadvantage when you go to another country. And a lot of these guys are tricks. A lot of these guys be tricking off when they go to these other countries too. I know they be tricking off. Now, some people will say, well, it don't matter. Well, I disagree with that. Why? Well, first off, why are you tricking off? The tricks tend to be lazy people, man or woman. I don't know what you call a woman that trick off. All a tricksters or trickster, whatever you call her. If they're doing something strange sexually or some strange transaction, that's a form of laziness, whether you're a man or a woman. So let me tell you something about me. Nobody ever told me I should trick off. Nobody, no one. I didn't grow up with anybody that told me I should do that shit. What they taught me is how to be a man, and this is what men do, and that was it. Why would I pay for something that I get offered all the time? So that to me that doesn't make any sense. You know, that's how I looked at it. I mean, why should I pay for something that people women offer me sex all the time? That doesn't make any sense. You know, that's just how I look at it. And maybe my experience is different from yours, and that's okay. But I'm just telling you how I was raised and my experience. You know, and women are not. These women today are not that complicated as much as uh, you think. They're not really that complicated, really. You know, it's not really. I mean, let's just be honest. It's not. Look, these women are not grandma today. They ain't big mama today. You know, whenever you see, it's easy for a woman to stick out today than ever before. So you don't have exceptional women today like it used to be. You still got some good women, but that ain't like it ain't the way it used to be. The game is raggedy out here. And if you don't know, you're gonna get taken advantage of, you're gonna get ripped off. And that's just what it is. And nobody's coming to save you. And there's a good chance nobody's gonna tell you anything. They're gonna let you walk in the fire and get burned. Your family members are gonna let you walk in the fire and get burned. Your friends, your so-called friends, gonna let you walk in the fire and get burned. And then they're gonna turn around and tell you how much they love you. And let me tell you what a wise man told me. Love ain't lies. Love ain't lies. So if you're willing to let me walk in the fire and get burned, you don't love me. What kind of love is that? Hell, you ain't even gotta love me. But don't let me walk in the goddamn fire and get burned. But that ain't no damn love. I don't know what that is. That's maybe your definition of love, but it ain't my definition. So you gotta be today. You got to be game tight. You gotta use your intuition so you won't get taken advantage of, and to minimize a lot of mistakes. And that's just what it is. You got to start to see things the way it is, not the way you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? See, when you don't see things the way it is, you disrespect yourself by default. If you act like ain't nothing going on, if you act dumb, like, I don't know what's going on. See, that's when you start to disrespect yourself. You know, that's not good. See, that affects your self-esteem. That mentally that doesn't help you just as a man, as a person. You know, and this is much bigger than just a woman. Let me tell you something. Women will respect you Women don't like no butt kissing fool. They don't respect no butt kissing fool simp. And it's just across the board when it comes to women. I don't care if she's in butt fuck Kentucky, Arkansas, hillbilly. It don't matter. A woman will respect a guy that stand up, that's solid. That will make her wet in the pants. Just that. Based on my experience. And this goes above religion and nationality and race. And no, this is just across the board. You know, that this no, it's just this what it is. And see, in the shadow world, you see things. Oh, okay, this is what really goes on behind the scenes. I call it the underworld. This is how this shit really is. See, it's surface level, then it's below underworld. Some people call it the shadow world, where you see in the shadow world, you don't see things out in public. You don't see things on the red carpet like you do in the shadow world. And this goes for politicians, entertainers, people at your job, even some people online. And most of these people keep their mouth shut that operate in that world. Include me. See, a lot of people are not ready for that world. If most guys, even men and women, if they found out what happens in that world, they wouldn't be able to handle it. You know? This shit gets deep. You got like I give you an example, something that I found out. A hillbilly white woman that's a hippie in the backwoods or of what? South Carolina or North Carolina or Kentucky, Florida. I would get along with her, a woman like that. We would have a lot in common. But here's where the difference would come in at, though. She grew up in a way where she's taught to be anti-black. And even though we have a lot in common, she was raised that she's better than me. But at the same time, I live better than her. I live better than the hillbilly white chick. Because the hillbilly white chick is probably in some little hick-nick town with chickens and dogs, and the house is shit is everywhere when you walk in the damn house. I live in this, near the city limits. They live way out, an hour or two out, some small hick-nick town. Even though I live better than her, having a different experience than her, we still would get along. Now, that same hillbilly chick, she wouldn't get along with a white chick that went to Ivy League school. She wouldn't get along with a chick that went to Princeton, Yale, Spelman, USC, Harvard. She wouldn't get along with her, with that type of white chick, because they have nothing in common at all. The white chick that went to Princeton can't relate to no hillbilly white woman. It's a different reality. You know what I'm saying? See, and once I started learning all of this, when I was in my 20s, I learned how people think. Once I learned how people think, just in general, across the board, once I learned how people think, it was game over. Game over. I have the edge. I have the advantage. I have the advantage when I walk in a room. It don't matter where I'm at on the planet. Because I know how you think. I know where you from. I know the history where you from. I know what happened to you and your people where you from. So I have the advantage, hands down. I don't have to speak the language. If I know how you think, it's over. I have the advantage. I have the edge, period. Most guys ain't got it like that. That's why they get taken advantage of. And plus, I don't take L's. I don't take losses. I can't remember the last time I took a loss. Now, if somebody dies, that's out of my control. Yeah, that's a loss. But I'm talking about anything that I make a decision to do, I make it happen. And I don't tell anybody about it until it's over, until it's done. So, hey, if you want to ask anything or talk about anything, click the link and come on. Otherwise, I'm out of here. So once I started to learn how people think, man or woman, it's over. I have the advantage. I can almost predict what you're going to say and do in advance. That's what it is when it comes to me. And a lot of this took me years. It takes time. You have to have life experience. You can't just read a damn book or watch a couple videos to learn what I've learned over the past 20 years. No, this is high level psychology here. This is some shit I've never read in a book. What I've learned in 20 years, I've never read in a book. And no book. No book in Barnes and Noble. No book in the library. I can write about stuff that haven't been written before. There's different levels to this shit, man. And if you don't know, you just don't know. And the ones that know. This is why they always say what's understood don't have to be spoken. And that's just what it is. And nobody's coming to save you. The best you can do is get around people that's been there and done that and learn from them. You can't save the world. If you try and save the world, you're going to be all over the goddamn place and you're not going to be able to do anything. The best you can do is focus on one little area of activity and do the best you can and try to surround yourself with like-minded people. That's the best you can do in this life. And we only get one life to live. There's no do-overs. And no one's coming to save you. No one's going to ever care about your life as much as you. That's what I learned when I was in my 20s and 30s. No one's coming to save me. If I don't make it happen, if I don't meet the people that's been there and done that, that can help me do whatever I need to do, it's over. It's over for me. And that's just what it is. You know? This is much bigger than just women. Women are just like icing on the cake, so to speak. And women are just arm candy. Hopefully she has a little bit of brain. Hopefully she has a good spirit. Hopefully she can be become a good mother for your kids. But most women won't. Just like most guys won't make it. Most women won't make it either. And that's just reality. And you don't have to like it. You just have to deal with it. You have to face reality. Most guys are not going to make it, and most women are not going to make it. That's just what it is. And some people, if you want to progress in life, you're going to have to cut some people off. You have to cut some people. Some people are just horrible that you have around you. They're dead weight. They're not doing anything of value. They don't. What are they doing that you can live without? If anything. Are they adding in or taking out? That's a question you have to answer. And you have a lot of people are delusional. They think there's something that they're not. And they have no proof of whatever they think they are. They can't even get nobody to call them back or pick up the phone. But they think that they're a good friend, that they're a good woman or a good man. Well, where's the proof of this? Did anybody say she was a good man? Did anybody say he was a good man or good woman? Who said this? Let me talk to the person. And if you're such a good man, how come your phone don't ring? If you're such a good woman, how come your phone don't ring? How come no one returns your call? How come no one texts you back? How come nobody don't want to be around you? If you're such a good woman, I'm just asking questions. If you're such a good man, how come the guys don't respect you? How come the women don't respect you if you're such a good woman or if you're such a good man? When I speak to women, they listen. Most of them, 98%. And this is before social media. This is before the internet. When I came on the internet, I just took shit to the next level. I was like, oh, I can reach more people on the internet. This is cool. Even though they shadow banned me and all the other shit, but hey, it's all good. You know, I was who I was before the internet. You know, I just, spread my wings when I came online. But shit, I learned the game from my mom and my dad. My mom and my parents taught me the game. My parents taught me to speak like this. My mom taught me to speak. My mom taught me to stand up in front of people and speak in church on Easter Sunday. That's where this shit started from. And I started doing plays. I'm used to being on stage. I'm used to being the underdog. I'm used to being by myself. I got used to it. I got used to being the one person that would speak up while everybody else get quiet. I got used to I was groomed for this. I was built for this at an early age. As a kid, as an 8, 9-year-old kid speaking in front of people, doing speeches and poems. I learned from my mom. My mom told me a lot of these women, you got to watch them. My mom told me a lot of hoes out here. She didn't say it, she didn't use those choice of words, but yeah, that's basically what she was trying to say. all women are not alike. They might be created equally, but they ain't alike. My mom taught me that shit. And my dad just said the same thing in a different type of way. That's all. Well, that's all. And that's it. Either you know or you don't know. And what's understood don't have to be spoken. And if you don't know, you better find out. Because if you don't know, now you know. Peace.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like. Here from